Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. The Lakers are having internal and on-court problems with center DeAndre Ayton, and a great center who wants to play for the Lakers is Ivica Zubac, who offers greater defensive reliability and the ability to stabilize lineups without requiring many touches on the ball. Zubac contributes with physical rebounding and stamina in the paint, allowing Hayes to continue being an energetic weapon. The Lakers need a center who opens and closes space. The Lakers' recent decision to call up Kobe Bufkin from the G League is telling. They are actively searching for 3-and-D solutions, players who can open space offensively and close it defensively. That same logic applies to the center position. The ideal big is not one who needs the ball to be effective, but one who creates space through screening, movement, and unselfish play, while anchoring the defense with effort and positioning. Jackson Hayes fits well into that identity from the bench. He runs the floor, protects the rim with energy, and has built strong chemistry with Doncic both on and off the court. Hayes is staying, and the next center must harmonize with him rather than compete for the same role. Ayton's efficiency is real, but the roster is changing. Ayton has done exactly what was asked of him offensively. He has converted at a high rate, punished mismatches, and given the Lakers reliable scoring when plays are run through him. His value around the league has quietly increased because efficiency at the center position is never easy to find. The problem is not what Ayton does well. It is what the Lakers now need more urgently and what he lacks. They rank among the lowest teams in three-point production and defensive efficiency, two areas that become glaring weaknesses in playoff basketball. With Austin Reeves returning from injury, Ayton's offensive role is likely to shrink even further. Between Doncic, LeBron, and Reeves, touches will be concentrated on the perimeter. That makes Ayton's nights more volatile, especially when effort dips or transition defense becomes an issue. For Ayton, a trade is not a demotion. It is an opportunity. His efficiency would shine even brighter on a roster built to feature him more consistently, where his offensive strengths complement the system rather than conflict with it. The Lakers are not looking to undo what has worked. They are trying to finish the job. With the trade deadline approaching, this is about maximizing a real contention window, not assigning blame. Ayton helped get them here. Now both sides may benefit from finding the right next step. Lakers eye two-way wing support, Christian Braun and trade deadline strategies unfold. As the NBA trade deadline approaches, the Los Angeles Lakers are evaluating their roster needs and potential moves to improve their competitiveness. Currently sitting 6th in the Western Conference with a 26-17 record, the Lakers are addressing their defensive shortcomings and enhancing their perimeter play. Targeting Christian Braun for two-way wing support. The Lakers have identified the need for a two-way wing player to complement Luka Doncic on both ends of the floor. One target is Christian Braun of the Denver Nuggets. Braun signed a 5-year, $125 million extension with the Nuggets that begins in the 2026-27 season and has emerged as a reliable two-way wing. Despite injuries affecting his current season performance, he averages 9.5 points per game on 45.9% shooting. Braun's performance makes him an option for the Lakers. Maxwell Ogden from Lake Show Life reports that Peyton Watson's emergence opens door for Lakers to trade for Christian Braun. With Watson's breakout performance in Denver, the Lakers are in a position to negotiate a trade for Braun to address their need for a dynamic wing player. Challenges in the trade market. Despite the Lakers' ambitions, the trade market presents challenges. Athletics' Christian Clark and Dan Woik note that the Lakers are not active buyers leading up to the February 5 trade deadline. The team recognizes that no single move can resolve all their roster issues, which include a lack of athleticism, shooting, and defense. Some within the organization believe that significant roster upgrades are more feasible in the offseason when the Lakers could have up to 3 first-round picks available for trades. Focus on perimeter help. In the short term, the Lakers are expected to enhance their perimeter play. ESPN's Tim Bontemps reports that people around the league expect the Lakers will focus on perimeter help between now and the trade deadline. This strategy coincides with the return of Austin Reeves, who has been sidelined with a calf strain since Christmas Day. Reeves is expected to return during the Lakers' current 8-game road trip, which could provide an offensive boost. However, the Lakers' defensive struggles remain a concern. The team currently holds the 6th worst defensive rating in the NBA this season, necessitating improvements to solidify their standing in the Western Conference and avoid the play-in tournament. Balancing immediate needs with long-term strategy. As the Lakers approach the trade deadline, they must balance immediate needs with a long-term strategy for sustained success. Acquiring a player like Christian Braun could address some current issues, but the organization must also consider broader roster construction challenges. The offseason may present more opportunities for substantial changes, but for now, the Lakers are focused on making strategic moves to enhance their competitiveness. J.J. Redick, Lakers lacking trust on offense. The Los Angeles Lakers suffered a loss at the hands of the LA Clippers on Thursday night. That loss brought them to 6-6 in January, dropping them to the number 6 seed in the Western Conference and into a virtual tie with the Phoenix Suns for number 7. Head coach J.J. Redick simply couldn't find a lineup that could take control of the game offensively. Luka Doncic and LeBron James were the only players to reach 20 points in the game, combining for 55 points on a poor 24-46 from the field. Nobody else scored more than 12. One of the key moments of the game for the Lakers came at the end of the first half, when they scored just 2 points in the final 3:03, while the Clippers scored 9 points in that same span. LA's defense has been a struggle all season long, which isn't surprising. But the offense having such poor stretches consistently is more of a shock. Redick explained what happened during that run, having critiques on both sides of the ball, but focusing more on offense, via Spectrum Sportsnet. Just a poor job of defensive coverage execution, and just didn't trust each other on offense. Not enough passing. And that was a lot of the game, not enough passing. That's a consistent thing when we don't play well. We don't pass to each other, and we don't execute defensively. Redick expanded on the team's lack of passing, citing trust as a significant factor and saying it has to come from the top of the depth chart. There's gotta be a trust factor with all our guys, just to trust the pass. That starts with Luka, he's going to have the ball the most of everyone. He's gotta trust the pass. He's got 2 on him, he's playing in a crowd, he's gotta pass the ball. And I think as much as we can talk about being connected on defense, you gotta be connected on offense. Lakers locked in multi-team battle for $15 million rim protector. The expectation around the league is that the Los Angeles Lakers will operate as buyers as the February 5 trade deadline draws closer. Even with a limited pool of movable assets, multiple reports suggest general manager Rob Pelinka remains active, with a clear focus on adding a young, dependable two-way wing. That search, however, appears to have widened. According to ESPN's Tim Bontemps and Brian Windhorst, Los Angeles has also begun canvassing the market for frontcourt help, with rim protection emerging as a secondary priority. Lakers exploring cost-effective frontcourt options. As reported by Forbes' Evan Sidery, one name the Lakers have recently explored is Yves Missy of the New Orleans Pelicans, with several other teams also registering interest. Yves Missy is generating significant interest on the trade market once the Pelicans were open to fielding offers, Sidery reported. The Celtics, Knicks, Lakers, Pacers, Raptors, and Warriors are among the teams who recently inquired on Missy. The 21-year-old represents an intriguing fit for Los Angeles. The Lakers have struggled all season to control the paint, ranking near the bottom of the league in rebounding and interior defensive metrics. Missy's size, activity level, and rim presence directly address those shortcomings. After earning all-rookie second-team honors in 2024-25 while averaging 9.1 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game, his production has dipped in his sophomore campaign. Through 38 games this season, Missy is posting 5.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks, largely due to a fluctuating role in New Orleans amid organizational changes. Even so, his impact on the glass remains notable. The 6'11" center is averaging 2.9 offensive rebounds per game, ranking 16th league-wide, a skill set that would immediately translate within a thin Lakers frontcourt. Why Missy fits the Lakers' deadline strategy from a financial standpoint. Missy checks several boxes. He is still on his 4-year, $15.6 million rookie scale deal, earning $3.3 million this season and $3.5 million through 2026-27, with a $5.5 million team option for 2027-28. That makes him a low-cost, long-term developmental piece rather than a cap-clogging commitment. Most Lakers trade speculation has centered around expiring contracts such as Rui Hachimura, $18.2 million, Gabe Vincent, $11.5 million, and Maxi Kleber, $11 million. A Missy deal, however, would likely fall into the category of a smaller, complementary transaction, allowing Los Angeles to maintain flexibility both financially and strategically. The Lakers still want room to pursue a more impactful wing upgrade, and Missy's modest contract would not interfere with that broader objective. Second-year guard Dalton Knecht, who earns roughly $4 million, could theoretically be used as salary filler, though his trade value has reportedly dipped amid a downturn in form, per The Athletic's Dan Woik. Draft capital remains the biggest constraint. The Lakers currently control just one tradable first-round pick, either in 2031 or 2032. However, there is growing belief that Pelinka is exploring ways to restructure that asset into multiple future selections in order to widen the team's trade flexibility. Now, the really interesting thing with the Lakers is they've been shopping around their future 2032 first-round pick for multiple first-round draft picks, Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports recently said. If successful, that approach would significantly expand the Lakers' options ahead of the deadline. It could create a path to landing a Missy-caliber center, or even a higher-end option such as Nick Claxton, who has also been linked, while still preserving the ability to chase meaningful wing help. Lakers face major contract decision with G League star. The Los Angeles Lakers are approaching a familiar crossroads with one of the standout performers in their developmental pipeline. Kobe Bufkin has quietly elevated his stock with the South Bay Lakers in the G League this season, earning a 10-day NBA call-up that began on January 13. That opportunity has now expired, according to Spotrack's Keith Smith, leaving both the player and the organization facing an immediate decision on what comes next. Kobe Bufkin's 10-day contract with the Los Angeles Lakers has expired. The Lakers can sign Bufkin to a second 10-day deal. To keep Bufkin after a second 10-day contract, Los Angeles would have to sign him for the remainder of the season. Lakers evaluating Kobe Bufkin's next step across 4 NBA appearances. Bufkin averaged 3.0 points and 1.3 rebounds in 11.3 minutes per game, shooting 36.4% from the field and 28.6% from three-point range. His most notable showing came in a January 17 loss to the Portland Trail Blazers, when he logged 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting, knocked down a 3, and added 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 blocks in 22 minutes. While the box score production was modest, it reflected the reality of limited touches and sporadic minutes alongside established NBA rotation players. Even so, Bufkin flashed defensive engagement and positional versatility when given opportunities. The Lakers now have several options, though a conversion to a full roster spot appears unlikely. They can sign Bufkin to a second 10-day contract, which would also be their final chance to do so before needing to commit for the remainder of the season. Alternatively, the 22-year-old can return to South Bay, where the Lakers still control his player rights. He is also free to sign with another NBA team on a standard, 2-way, or 10-day contract, with no obligation to remain tied to Los Angeles beyond the G League. A second 10-day deal would run right up to the February 5 trade deadline, potentially offering roster flexibility as general manager Rob Pelinka continues to explore upgrades. Roster constraints complicate long-term decision. A 2-way contract remains an option, but it would require the Lakers to waive a player, as all 3 two-way spots are currently occupied by Nick Smith Jr., Drew Timm, and Chris Manon. Smith Jr. has carved out a consistent bench role, while Timm has recently played his way into the rotation, leaving Manon as the most vulnerable option. Manon has logged just 14 total NBA minutes this season, the fewest on the roster, despite strong G League production. Notably, Buffkin surpassed that total during his brief 10-day stint alone, 45. At the G League level, Buffkin's resume is far more impressive. Through 15 games with South Bay this season, he averaged 25.9 points, 4.7 rebounds, 4.0 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1.3 blocks while shooting 51.2% from the field and 39.5% from three on 7.6 attempts per game. His two-way impact firmly placed him among the league's most complete guards, drawing the eyes of NBA decision-makers. Selected 15th overall in the 2023 NBA Draft by the Atlanta Hawks, Buffkin's early professional career has been disrupted by injuries and limited opportunity. This season for South Bay, however, has looked more like a sustained audition, one built on scoring versatility, defensive engagement, and playmaking consistency. Now back on the open market once again, the pressure shifts to the Lakers. Either they act decisively to secure a player trending towards NBA readiness, or they risk watching another team step in and capitalize on his upward trajectory. LeBron James and Los Angeles Lakers nearing bitter end. A day after the Los Angeles Dodgers announced the signing of King Kyle Tucker, news has broken that another crowned athlete might be nearing the end of his tenure with another of Los Angeles's premier sports franchises. LeBron James has played with the Lakers longer consecutively than either the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Miami Heat, but it doesn't appear he will end his NBA career as part of the Purple and Gold organization. On a one-year deal with Los Angeles, the relationship between the team and James has broken down over several weeks. It was fractured even further on Thursday, when an expose by ESPN detailed that Jeannie Buss, formerly a close confidant of James, was privately frustrated and feeling disrespected by the all-time great. Following a tough loss to the Los Angeles Clippers later that night, a deflated, almost defeated-sounding James said it was all good when the article and the current situation with the Lakers were brought up to him. Although Buss is no longer the team's owner after the family sold the team to Dodgers owner Mark Walter, she will remain as team governor to oversee the transition between the two ownership groups. On Friday, the relationship between James and the Lakers remains frayed, as leading NBA insider Shams Charania poured gasoline on the fire with another update on the dramatic saga. More news: Lakers privately angry with LeBron James after drafting Bronny. Report more news: Giannis Antetokounmpo fed up as trade demand chances intensify. Report: the reality is we're watching the end of a relationship between LeBron James and the Lakers, Charania said on The Pat McAfee Show in a segment about the feud. The end is near, however you want to slice it. James has a no-trade clause in his contract, but could be open to waiving it on the chance a contending team is open to possibly trading for him. The issue would be finding equally suitable contracts to bring the other way to the Lakers, with James holding a $52.6 million cap hit. Los Angeles will not want to take on any contracts past this current season, as they want to build a roster around the new face of the franchise, Luka Doncic. The Golden State Warriors have reportedly been interested in James, but only as an off-season option. They would want to pair James with Steph Curry, creating what could be the most-watched duo in NBA history with the two legends playing their final years together.